I should be YouTube. Yep. Things working. Everything great. Yep. Yeah. Like, the reason why this car is a meme is because I'm not driving the 720S. I'm driving a car in the family, which is the Gallardo. Which is like, I don't know how the fuck this car got BOP'd into was homologated into the GT3 class, ever. I mean, it's probably like a 2010 GT3 car. I think it actually is a 2010 GT3 car that was for some reason run in 2018, like once or something, and therefore is in ACC, and we can drive it. And the guys hosting this event have, for some reason, not actually unlisted that car. Like, they've actually not listed, I think, the new Audi, and you can't pick the old ST cars, you can only pick the new ST cars, which is a bit unfortunate. But the old Gallardo is about as fast as the new ST cars. Perhaps even slower. So this thing is an absolute massive meme. You have to lift about as much as a GT4 car to get up over Rouge. Like, you're not going this corner flat. I've driven it in January at Spa already once. So it's not the first time I'm driving this car. Okay. So it's not the first time I'm driving this car. Let me pick it. But it doesn't get old. Where are you? Where are you? Here. Right engineer. 20. It's listed as 20. Oh, I have the car number actually wrong. Hold on a second. I'm changing my. This can't be. I forgot which car number I actually gave this thing. Could have looked at the fucking screenshot that I used, but oh well, I'm not looking at it. Voila. That's fixed. Well done. Server list. We need to look for SRXP. Community event. Right. Also, the part of this is that I like looked about at this point half an hour ago. I was like, well, I'm not feeling like doing anything, and I've already like slept the afternoon and stuff, and not done. Wasted too many days in a row, so it's just like, well, aren't they hosting an off-season event? I think they had it already into the off-season, so like, might as well like actually join them for that. And then I looked, and it's like, oh, it's Spa. Brilliant! I can get some practice for the 4-hour race next weekend. And then I was like, do I want to actually do that? Because it's the 720S, which I have a setup for, the car elements good, all of that stuff. Do I actually need to practice with it? Nah, not really. That's like someone else. So might as well just, I don't know, run the Reiter? Because I've done that before on this track. Let me actually look at the setup even that I used. I used that earlier this year. I think 3 brake ducts is actually optimum for these, like 32 degrees Celsius. What do we have? Let's switch these tires onto the car. I think the other settings. Let's just drive this. I think this is fine-ish. Ignition starter. But yeah. We're going to be the menace of the cup cars. Because they are about as fast as us. Right. Okay. And we have a center review display, and that's about the best that we have. The thing is, this car drives really nicely. Like, it's not hard to drive, actually. It's very forgiving, it's a really nice car to drive, it's just not fast. I mean, this Porsche Cup is absolutely fucking destroying me right now. Well, I think it's a Porsche Cup, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's it's Porsche Cup. I'm not retarded. But yeah, that's a Porsche Cup and it's absolutely driving away from me. Now, I probably have better straight line speed, although because I have to lift a lot through things like Rouge, and I have to also lift for Blanchiment. That's Porsches, which allows most cars to actually keep up with me in a straight line. Because I have to slow down for the high speed corners because this thing doesn't stick to the ground enough. And this thing runs basically no rear wing on it already. I actually got a track cut for that. For the entry there.
Yellow flag, be careful
Yeah. Welcome to the GT3 car that is getting beaten by a cup car.
yellow flag, be careful.
Honestly, that was really quick up there. Like, the tiniest of lifts and it's already like immediately pitched in, boom, gone up. That was really nice, no, honestly. Also, the setup is really nice that I made here for this thing.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Has a bit of oversteer there on the brakes, but otherwise it's... I think I need a bit of practice, actually. And the only reason I just caught up is because he actually missed an apex. I think you can... Whoa, my tires are overinflating. Yeah, it is. I mean, my tires are now overinflating, which is not that positive. But a slight lift at the bottom of the hill is all enough to get up the hill if you're not getting a massive oversteer wiggle. Over the top. It's a bit dicey. Can brake a bit later, actually. Shift to third mid corner there. The car's kind of really forgiving with like oversteer. You can get it back from like such massive wiggles at times. Like a lot of other cars would be gone at that point. Like it doesn't kind of doesn't want to swing the other way. It doesn't have like a pendulum effect, which other cars have to large parts. Oh god. Ooh. Fuck me. But you just have to lift in the high speed corners just to get this thing to turn.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out.
Just the reality, this thing is just not as aero reliant as a lot of other cars. And the thing is, I'm not last of the GT3 runners either. Although I'm about like 4 seconds off the pace. Which is not surprising, this thing is not quick. Just illustrated. And the problem is I'm putting, I think, a bit too hard the throttle down coming over the crest there, which is breaking traction. When I have to lift in the bottom of a rouge, but when I head up to a Radeon I need to start squeezing the throttle back in, and I'm just too quick on that. It leads to oversteer.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Because the car obviously unloads over the top there. And it unloads a lot because I have trimmed so much rear wing out of the car to make it work at all up that hill. I'm honestly surprised how well it actually runs up the rouge. I remember it being worse. Although it might be because I have actually perhaps less rear wing than I would like on the setup. That might be also the case. What I don't like is that I'm not particularly improving. Yeah, the car's very nervous at this point. Not particularly a fan. Forgot physics to make this car. No. I think this is currently fine. Like, it's not outside of the realm of like ACC cars completely. It's just if you drive something like a Porsche, that you're not coming back from like half something this bad.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Like the Porsche will not forgive you an inch. And front engine cars will probably also not forgive you this much. The 720S you can actually drive not far off this.
Watch out.
Maybe I actually want to click more TC in this thing. Although the TC might be useless on this car. Yeah, that's smoother application up the hill. Although it wasn't particularly quicker. The Delta. Bit deeper into that corner, but that cost me now here. Ah, that's too wide. And lap invalidated.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Also, we are overheating our, overpressuring our tires. So I need to adjust those tire pressures to fit the conditions a bit better. Yeah, I mean, my front tires are at this point like nearly about a PSI overpressure. The rears are 0.5 PSI. Too high. And I think the tire temps for the most part are like fine. Like, there's probably not much you can do with brake ducts. One click more TC in the car. Okay, at some point it will bite. At some point it will bite.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
At some point you just go a bit too hard into a corner and the rear end will start coming around on you. I think I should downshift a bit later for that corner. And my tire temps on the front right are definitely getting warm.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Maybe I open the front ducts by one click. And then adjust the tire pressures on the front down by like 0.8, in the rear by... Okay, that was too much. That was not paying attention. Let's return to the pits. Right. Hi, JT. Well then, I wanted to open the brake ducts in the front by one click, and I think I need to decrease the rear pressures by like at least 0.6, I think. And the fronts need to be decreased at least 0.5. Let's decrease them also by 0.6. How does that first set of tires look? Some light flat spots on the front left, most likely from the spin, and there's light graining on the rear tires. Which, that's interesting. Definitely that is a bit interesting. How much rear wing do I have? 4. I think this might be... when I ran the race in January, early January, a big grid race here with this car, I think I put actually a click more rear wing in the car before the race started. I think I qualified on this set, but I don't think I actually ran the race on this. I think I used a bit more rear wing because it was a bit too risky with how much oversteer the car had. Just to stabilize the car in general. That was near around that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that as well. So, crank the car again. Let's revolve out of the pit lane.
There's a slow car ahead.
Yep, and tires too, which is good. Oh. Boy, yeah, that was a bit close. That was a bit too close for comfort.
There's a slow car ahead.
I did not check actually the weather for... because it's very cloudy. I mean, let's hope we don't actually see rain, because that would be... it would get awkward. I've not run this car in the rain, but I mean, with how much this King is operating with mechanical grip and not with aero, and how much this thing isn't particularly like oversteer loose, probably runs in the rain pretty well. As long as you don't, you know, as long as you probably give it a bit more downforce, I guess.
Yellow flag, be careful there. Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
Yeah, this is much more planted up there. Can feed much earlier the throttle there. One of the sad things is how uncompetitive this car is, because it's... I can only say it's really nice to drive. Especially now with, like, actually rear grip. I shouldn't have said anything. I should have really not said anything. The car promptly decided it wanted me dead. Oh, I got 11 validated. Ran a bit too wide there. Was trying to fight it to stay back on the, still on track, but like that wasn't enough. Just got a bit too greedy trying to take that corner flat. Close, I mean not quite flat, but like close to it. It's still on Gallardo, you can still not drive that quickly. This is just practice. No need to sweat it.
There's a slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Oh, he parked there. Guess my rear tires are a bit lower pressure. Although setting up the pressures on this car is not particularly easy when you're doing a lot of like skidding and stuff. So many people parked at the side of the road.
There's a slow car ahead. Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Like, how many cars have pulled over right now? It's like downright scary.
Yellow flag. Be careful.
I guess somebody just announced that they were split qualifying.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Actually do have to like downshift and lift very early for that corner.
Session is now over.
Yeah, my rear tires seem to be under pressure. My front seems to have quite a bit of pressure in there. I mean, the fastest cup car is Evels and just 2/10 off up the road from me. There were multiple I think at least one Ferrari Cup signed up, but there's none on the grid actually. There's only one Lamborghini Cup car. Actually, there's one. It's K99, who is here. He has car, but he hasn't turned actually a lap, so that's why he's at the bottom of the field. Right. Okay. Okay, the GTC cars start first and have 10 minutes to set their laps. Because the GT3 cars are allowed to leave the pits and slow on their fast laps. Okay. Good, so at first the GTC cars are allowed out, which means we have to sit there and wait. And see how fast they are going. Because it's gonna be a bit of a challenge to actually beat some of them. As we noticed. Pressure into the rears, I think a bit less pressure on the front tires, and that's all good. I need to take obviously the fuel out of the car. How much fuel consumption are we actually pulling? Well, the car was quite viable for long run, so I think this is perfectly fine now, workable. Hey, there's a GT3 driving out. Somebody didn't get the memo. Porsche Cup. Porsche Cup. Hey, give me the yellow Porsche Cup. Yeah, yellow Porsche Cup. More Porsche Cup. And then Ferrari. TCS. Let's ride along with the rocket ship. Ah, that's the red line there. It's marked really weirdly on the dash. It's the 82 cars to try. K99 is really struggling with that Ferrari, I guess. Yeah, another missed apex. Like, how are you not getting to these apexes? I know he's actually not that terrible when he drives. Last time I drove with when I drove SRXP season 3 and 4, I think he drove GT4 AM with the KTM crossbow as well. I drove GT4 Pro, but he was driving AM, and he wasn't that much slower. He was pretty decent AM driver. Actually, I think even in a off-season Monza race, he might actually took pole in the GT4 class overall with his KTM. KTM can be pretty decent at Monza if the others don't try. Actually, that's in my opinion. TCS off. Damn, that's a bit sideways. This thing is a rocket ship. We're up to, despite him being massively sideways, we're up to 250 now. 260. Like, imagine if you didn't like completely nearly bin the thing up Rouge. It would be like heading close to 300. You can do over 300 with this car at like Monza and Paul Ricard. Easily. So he wasn't actually running 911 in the 911 number. Also, he does have not TCS off. He has a TC2 and TC1 very much on, and ABS has he also on. So you can see that on the dash. I'm not so sure the fuel meter is actually accurate to what he's running, although I mean the numbers look to be sensible. Yeah, that this car that we're riding aboard with is a is the new Ferrari Challenge car. Yes, that is the new Ferrari Challenge here. Somebody has picked it. For this race, the GTC class was available, but only the new cars. So I couldn't field like an old Porsche Cup car to mess with people, which would have been actually somewhat interesting, perhaps, to see how that if holds up on this track specifically, where there's a lot of straight line, where the old Cup car is actually pretty good in top speed, where it can really like the others do not have particularly anything against. But man, this thing looks like quite a handful to drive, this Ferrari kind of car. So where did he go? Ah, misclicked. Misinput. Fabic has right now the provisional pole in the GTC class with a 2:22.3, which is about as fast as we went. No, actually, I went faster than that. I went sub 2:22, I'm pretty sure. I actually went sub 2:22, but Iversen was actually still faster than me by like 2-3 tenths. But the guy that we're riding on board with, K99, he's 6 seconds off that. And it's dead last right now, which is a bit interesting. Oh, ouch. That did not look particularly healthy. Race controls to constantly disqualify people from driving out of the fucking pit lane. Like, come on, guys, it's not rocket science here. Like, this isn't rocket science. You're all got 20 minutes remaining to drive out. Granted, it was sent in the closing moments of the practice session, but that gives you actually a chance to see it. Oh, I guess K99 had enough. He can't drive it, so he just decided to quit at this point. Which is sad, because I wanted to see how that Ferrari performs. But unfortunately, I think he didn't turn up during practice and just didn't get any laps in. It's really interesting, the new ST that this guy's driving here. That thing is... and that this has still like the old the same display and like the same cockpit as the old car. Like, if you told me this was the old one, I would completely believe you, because I mean everything in the interior looks like the old one. I know it's the new one he's running here. For me, it's a bit difficult to actually switch camera perspective. I can grab the replay obviously and load it up there. But it's a bit difficult to probably find him. Shouldn't be rocket science to find a car, for fuck's sake. Come on, give me the car. Ah, this is the Ferrari, by the way, from the outside. Actually, I think he was in the practice session, because I saw him drive out of pit lane multiple times. I saw him drive multiple times out of the pit lane, but he seemingly just couldn't get the handle on this car. And this is the Gallardo, actually. Not the Gallardo, the Hurricane ST, the new one. Yeah, it is the new one. It looks, however, on the interior completely like the old one. Right, okay. Also, our qualifying session has actually just started. Oh well. I mean, it's better if I don't drive out immediately and let perhaps everybody go out in front of me, because I'm effectively just the ST car. I'm the ST car on this, guys. Okay. The fastest time was actually set by Everson with a 21.795. That's gonna be a bit of a challenge to beat. But I think I can probably do that. I think I can actually beat Everson. Is that link actually correct still? And is that still pointing to my Twitter account? Because that link is technically pointing to my Twitter account. But yeah, I mean, I think you could just look at the link and realize that it's a Twitter link. I don't use my Twitter account that much. I've actually recently, like, written 2 tweets. Like, done 2 replies and a retweet in the last week. Which is the most activity this account has seen in... 5 years or so. I barely use it. It's like just remnants of an old gone by. Yep, I intentionally wrote Twitter. It's like I call iRacing iRental. Or calling Studio 397 Studio 124. Or 123 because... Fuck them. So how much fuel do you actually need for the race? Would be also something interesting to figure out. Yep, iRental. What is a bit weird is that I'm actually keeping up with the guys in front. Oh, come on, guys. I'm driving a... Let's see, for crying out loud. I do have space behind, so it's not like... So let them just escape a bit. I need to slow down too much. I'm about 20 seconds behind. And that was a completely missed apex. Maybe I need to move the brake bias on low fuel running. I don't know. We have to see. Oh, got away with the track limits there. Alright then. Also, I think I should have packed more fuel into the car. Because I think I have only 2 flying laps worth of fuel in the car.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Which is not much, if I say so.
There's a slow car behind.
Yeah, you can, when you hook the inside there really well, you can go with a slight lift for that corner, which is nice.
There's a slow car ahead.
Showers, what are those?
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
Yeah, okay. What did we get? 22.4, so not particularly great. There's some room to improve here. Yeah, I mean my T1 can be like over 3/10 faster, although this time around it won't improve much. Also, I have only a lap of fuel in the car.
Yellow flag is set.
Yeah, abandon this lap. Right, it's because we actually need more fuel in this. This thing just runs out of fuel immediately at this point. So I need fresh fuel. And then we're back out. I'm in the middle of traffic at this point. Jesus, these speed bumps here. Okay, he abandoned, which is neat because then I have a bit of a gap to get out on track right now.
Yellow flag is active. Yellow flag ahead. Watch out.
Ah, not again. Overshot T1 completely. And had a shit exit as well.
Yellow flag, be careful there.
Pain. Let go. And overshot the corner completely there. For fucking sakes. Oh, we do have engine maps actually in this car.
Yellow flag, be careful.
It's really interesting when you go faster in practice than in qualifying. That's
Yellow flag
a
is
bit ironic, you could say. It's not a good line that I'm taking here. Well, there's quite a bit of time on the table here. If I can put the lap together, that would be neat. Oh, there's a lot of time. For some reason my chicane run was really bad last time around. Don't know why really. Still a terrible exit. Just I kind of wanted to. I was just too cautious on the throttle, and we lost so much acceleration there due to that. Up the hill wasn't a good run either. That has been quite mediocre to say the least.
slow car ahead.
Oh, the brakes don't really want to work. Guess I need to move brake bias rearwards for qualifying. I forgot doing that. Because I've had a few moments now where I've pushed over the front axle. Oh, that was very close to track limits. Just about within.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
That was sloppy exit. Could be way better as well.
This has been worse on us.
But I'm about half a second up to the cup cars now. Which was my main goal, just beating the cup cars.
Yellow flag.
Still a very shit exit out of that corner. That was a way better run up the hill.
Yellow flag, be careful there.
What is this M4 driver doing here? He's driving like so insanely slow. Ah, I got a cup track there. Look, don't say that. Don't say that because I'm not last. I'm not last by like a long shot. Do not take that bet. There are people who are genuinely fucking terrible at this game. Sometimes driving here. This thing is slow, yes. But I'm by no shot last right now. Not even in the GT3 class. Not even there. I'm right now 3 seconds off the pace of GT3 pole. I mean, actually 4 seconds on this lap, but whatever. Now the low fuel warning has to come on. Let's see if I can improve my position a bit more. I think there's a bit more time, but I don't think we can gain that many more positions. Ah, that's not gonna work. Yep, that's a cut track.
Yellow flag, be careful there. Yellow flag in sector 2.
Let's fall over. So that's it. I mean, I could try getting out again and put in more and more lap. I mean, I have a short pit exit, but that's about it. I don't think I will do that. We're half a second up on Irversen in his Porsche 911 Cup, but there are definitely a few drivers like High Ping here, and this guy. This guy is about a second slower than me, at least right now. Maybe he improves? Nope, didn't improve. Is this the new Audi actually? Might be the new Audi this guy's driving. With the number 720. Reiter. Yeah, I mean, we have a guy here that is 6 seconds off pole, so about 3 seconds slower than me. Although I think he might improve now. Or not. He has one more attempt, I guess. This guy doesn't have any attempt left. I'm just going for the guys that are actually slow. So back to the 720 guy. Actually, I'm now 3.4 seconds off pole. He has moved the goalpost slightly forward. Yeah, I think this is a new... Actually, I can check that over here in the list. This is the number 720. Yeah, it is a Audi R8 LMS Evo 2. So you changed a bit the cockpit look, because I think the cockpit of the normal Audi looks a bit different. Do we have a normal Audi Evo 2? Evo 2, Evo 2... Doesn't seem like we have another. Also, we do have a bit of a goalpost actually for our 720S. Because Bullwinkle sits on provisional pole position with his 720S with a 2 minute 17.8. Followed by another 720S. I thought the 720S wasn't actually that good on this circuit, but I guess I might be wrong. I guess I might actually be wrong on that one. Okay, this guy pulled over. Right. Right. Right, actually for the race we need to do fuel. It says I'm consuming about 4.45. We need a bit of fuel actually for a race. It's a half an hour race. People get down to 218s. Maybe going even faster for a race. But I mean, we were already on our optimum track, so I guess it won't go particularly much faster at this point. It's already fully rubbered in. Right, that's 13 and a bit laps, so we are just gonna take 14, 15, 16. 16 times 4.5, which is what my fuel is, 72 liters. Okay, look, sounds not too unreasonable, but also not like low. Considering we're only driving half an hour. That's quite high, you could say. Because the fuel tank only holds 120 liters, so I guess I'm adding way too many laps probably onto this. Let's just drive with this amount. Tire pressures were fine. All these things were fine. So yeah. I'm gonna skip back. I guess I'm gonna start in the same row as Iversen with his 911 Cup car. Who's the fastest of the Cup cars? This means we actually have a short formation. Or will we actually? No, that's actually a long formation, isn't it? Because short formation probably would. I don't know. No, long formation usually starts on starting and heading down the hill. Actually, you start your formation down the hill. You stand there. So this is actually short formation. I thought short formation might be before the last chicane, but I guess not so. Do I want to change something? I think not at this point anymore. I have more enough fuel, hopefully. Use current pressures for my tires, so in case I need to change come into repair, I can change tires as well. Because we're starting at 33rd of 49 cars, there might be a crash ahead. Never know. Never fucking know at this point. Right.
30 seconds.
Yep, 30 seconds. Ignition. Starter.
Going double 5.
Hello everyone, how is it going? I was a bit too far back in my formation. It's not good.
Go, go, go.
But it didn't punish me.
Car on the left.
Oh god, somebody slowed at the start completely.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Okay.
Car on the
Oh
left.
god!
Clear on the left. There's a slow car. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
What the flying fuck was that? Oh, lag. Someone is lagging badly, Jesus. Holy shit, that guy and his lag. Holy fucking shit.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Like, that guy is just not connected at all. Yeah, rear screen in this car is really neat, and because comparison to the Super Trofeo, which doesn't have any rear mirror in the middle, this thing has at least something. And the ST's mirrors are also like pointing way out to the side, which this car does as well, which is annoying. Yeah, the Ferrari will probably eat me in next. Problem is I have this Beamer in front that doesn't know how to fucking drive at all. Luckily me braking on the first lap for it.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Let's cut our way a bit through this field. Oh god. Fuck me. Holy shit. Oh my god. And no one behind me survived. That was the only one that got through that. Everyone behind wiped out. The thing is, I would have liked to brake. The problem is, when you're in this sort of, like, it is obviously for everybody that got collected here. It's like, they were like, why did nobody brake? But like, I didn't brake, I braked a bit. But more than that would have meant that everybody behind me just barrels into me. Oh, we're getting actually a race restart. I mean, we have to say this. It's like I'm up to P21 at this point, according to the game's scoring. So it's like P23, P21, something like that. Although the game's scoring at this point isn't too accurate, it takes like a few laps. But man, you can't judge these people. They're coming up of Roche and then there's suddenly a fucking wall of cars, and if you slam the brakes, everybody behind you just barrels into you. It's like you have no fucking choice. The only one who dodged this entire mess. And I mean, if you look probably at my replay of this, is like, if I braked a bit more, probably the cars behind me would have hit me. Honestly, it was kind of off the field. Also, we're down to like 5 cup cars at this point. Also, it's lap 2 technically, so who cares really at this point? Yeah, I mean, my tires at 6 is obviously completely uninjured.
30 seconds.
Oh, I'm actually noticing I haven't turned on the other lamp in my room. Oh, let's do that. It probably gives better lighting to my pedals. I think I've cranked my car already.
Stay 55.
Yep, I have RPM already. MUQU, you belong behind me. Just as a reminder. You're now in front of me, you're behind me, It's the second time you got confused about your position in this queue.
Green light, give it a look again. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oh god, there's another. Whoop! There's no need to defend this hard Porsche.
Yellow flag is
Jesus, why is there a car off the road there as well?
car ahead. Yellow flag, be careful.
Holy fucking shit! This is way worse than the previous start. Okay, this time we're taking you. Oh, fuck you.
Car on the left.
That's naughty. Although you're probably just taking this easy as well. Like, man, what the fuck is wrong with people? It's just, it's not rocket science to get up this stupid hill at this point. And that's the problem. If you give people restarts, they start trying shit.
Clear on the left.
They're not as careful anymore. I will probably continue it. It's very unfortunate what happened on the second lap, but it's a second lap accident, it's not the first lap. And there's 2 races. We're not running 1 race tonight. We're running 2 half-an-hour races. If people wipe out in one of them, they have a chance in the other one. It's not like we need to give them 15 tries or something.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
But so far they haven't restarted, so that's weird. Because we've wiped out so much of the field so far. So many small accidents that just left cars facing the wrong way, where I'm just waiting for people to plow in. Or guarantee that some people have plowed into them. And I've also gotten back up to nearly the top 20. MUQU is coming with a lot of overspeed, but I have also speed on the
Car on the left.
SX.
3 wide. All clear. Clear on the left.
I should probably let that MUQU go. I'm just standing in his way for the most part. Ooh. I hope he just dives me into the bus stop and not before that. Because this guy has the potential to just run me over. I feel it already. Should have let him go. Not straight, but I wanted that NSX as well. So... she's way too far back to actually make anything. Like, what the fuck is it? I'm driving a Gallardo and you can't keep up with me through a couple of corners. You should really reassess some of your life choices. He's only really fast and straight with me. But he's gonna easily clear me. He just doesn't have exit speeds whatsoever. I can out exit him every single time, and that's not something that should happen. Oh god. Fuck. Come on, it was pretty easy to dodge me. Ah, that was so unfortunate for me. Ah, pain picker. But it seems my car for the most part actually survived this impact. Just my tires got a bit warm there. And we have to run back in Ra, who is the fastest cup car right now. And he's in front of me due to my spinner. So I need to stretch my legs a bit to get back there. Oh, the problem is we're heading up in... And then there... You know there's a double yellow and you pass two cars. I have my issues if I wasn't there. Found interesting also that the Aston let the Beamer by, but me he fought like to nail down the hill. He did not want to back out of there. Oh, that Aston driver's all over the fucking place. Jesus, get the fuck off the road finally. That thing looks more unstable than a Porsche Cup car. The old one.
Flag is acceptable.
Which I guarantee the setup that he's driving isn't. It's just this driver's driving completely and utterly wrong. That's way too much track cut there. But we get away with it just an invalidated lap. Okay. We have still a VAR about 10 seconds up the road due to all of these shenanigans.
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful. Slow car ahead.
I mean, 28. Jesus, that was a slow as fuck lap. Oh, and then I overshoot this corner like an idiot. Let's see how well he can follow actually up or rouge me. Actually, really well. Yeah, he can follow up over really well. But he should run out of straight line speed at some point.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
But yeah, that Porsche Cup car can take you a rouge faster than me. But there's definitely sections where I'm quicker than him. But he seems to be really good on the brakes. Or he's just running the corners deeper than it should be run. Slightly white flag here. There's a slow car. Thank you for deleting yourself. Oh yeah, I probably also have some damage from my impacts, so I'm losing time. Yeah, my car's probably, due to my impacts, actually slow up per lap quite drastically. And 24s are like not good. Even for me, that is slow as fuck.
There's a slow car ahead.
Although it seems I lost quite a bit of time here fighting Everson last time around. Maybe a bit more rear brake bias would be a good idea. Jesus, he's my rear spoiler. He's really struggling with those last two corners there. Yeah, but still 23's out like very bad even with this car. Pretty sure it's just the loads and loads of damage that I've collected. Yeah, we'll have 20 seconds of time preparing this thing. Obviously in a half an hour race, a pit stop isn't really worth it. So we just have to keep digging. And just hold on.
Slow car ahead.
I have a feeling this is the 404 connection not found guy.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
You can't dive bomb like that, for fuck's sakes, you clueless git. That's...
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
just dumped me. Oh, was predictable. Great, had to wait for everyone to come by. That's... I gave him even a bit of room, it's just... those people, they don't fucking take any care of anything. And yeah, I mean, it's running with a damaged car around is also not that fun right now. Like, this thing is slow already, it's just getting it this heavily damaged due to an oversteered twitch up the hill is not particularly fun. Car behind is not for positioning. That's... oh no. If you know, I'm driving in a damaged car because lost it going up the hill, I think like lap 4 or something, and it's going even slower now. But showering without heat, now that's not particularly fun. So yeah, we're getting beaten right now by the cup cars because... And then also got like collected in a few in an accident after that. I mean, honestly, in terms of like Rouge devs, it was not particularly the worst one. It's a pretty tame one with that. Yeah, I got held up in traffic by some not so competent people and then got taken out by someone. Which dropped me even more positions. I was in the top 25 at one point. But yeah. We have another 11 minutes and then we have a race 2. We can hope it goes better there. Although I guess I've started to just run out of luck in terms of dodging things at this point. Because I mean, I survived the start of this race, of the restarts. I survived the start of this race. So I guess my luck has now run out and I'm starting to run into people. Yep, that's the livery I'm driving right now. If I didn't like put an ST car on the thumbnail. I thought it was the Gallardo I actually have on the thumbnail. But yeah, this should be the livery I'm running right now. Which is a basic livery you can click together in the in-game editor. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of like the Italian flag thing, but that's also a thing on the other Lamborghinis. You can't get rid of those things. Those colored stripes. Just damn Italians. I can design custom liveries, I just at times... I've done it in the past, especially for R Factor 2. I've done it like twice for ACC, actually. I've done a Lexus livery, a Team Iris Lexus livery, which looks kinda neat, because Lexus can't have designs on it, so it's a bit limited. So it's very quick that you need to grab to a fully custom livery to have something. But because of how the livery system in this game works, it's not particularly worth like running a custom livery because most people won't not see it. Except for special events. And then I procrastinate making the livery and end up without a livery. Oftentimes. I will probably make one for the 720S because we will run that next week on Friday. And I will probably make an Iris livery. I mean... the thing is, I drive so many different cars that it's just like... I mean, I've decided like half an hour before this race would before practice, the server went up, that I want to drive this. And about 20 minutes before that, hey, maybe not drive the 720S, drive the Gallardo instead. I'm just like, if I switch cars after this, like, what's the point of running, making deliveries at that point? Although I have stayed with my boat for a long time, but I think I'm actually thinking of replacing it just because I've stayed with it for a while. That's sort of the type I am. But yeah, I mean, what would you think of making as a livery, and for what car? That would be interesting. What sort of design you would try to go for. Because I have to be honest, I can't do... Like, I can try, the most I can really do is like following the body lines and making like curves and stuff like that, which can look decent. But it takes like, at times, me a lot of hours to put it together. To align the different body parts, where the line goes off and appears on some completely other place. And getting that just right. So it's not particularly more impressive than the default livery templates the game ships with oftentimes. Heck, the Lexus is actually an emulation of one of the livery templates. One of the in-game liveries. A furry themed one. You know, this has to be noted here, I'm not a furry. Like, there's a fine line in between people who like cat girls and furries. To overly simplify thing, because obviously, yeah, it's for me not just cat girls. I mean, I'm a fox specifically. No, I'm not a furry. I'm a weeb. Who draws the line of kimono memes? That's the infamous meme I have. From a Discord that has like... It has like a lot of images of these different types, and that I was a long time in before the admin just banned me, but that's a story on its own. I didn't do anything, I will say that. Dude is about as unstable as you would expect from a Discord admin. So yeah, I draw the line at animal ears and tails. Anything beyond that gets a bit much. Ferrari is a bit sideways there.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Promise I have to lift here.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Wow. That guy actually
Clear on the left.
did an outside overtake on me. Yeah, you don't need to really run me off the road completely there.
Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
He lost out there because he tried to cut under me. And I sat there on the apex.
Slow car behind.
Oh, and there comes the other Ferrari. I'll give you room on the outside.
Clear on the right. Car on the left.
Oh, sorry.
Clear on the left.
That was stupid from me. Wasn't my fault. I overcooked that one. Really into making liveries. I think, what do you mean? Which car are you running? In what championship? Oh yeah, I've also like... On the topic of liveries, I've actually not too long ago made... Well, that's a skill issue and a half if I've seen ever one. That guy ran out of skill hard there. But yeah, on the topic of liveries, I've not actually... I think at this point nearly a month or two ago, when I made a remake of my infamous R-Factor 2 911 livery. can show that perhaps later, although I'm not too sure I want to show that on stream. To not potentially be taken down. Because that one is a spicy one. But honestly, I'm kind of proud of it because it looks kind of nice, honestly. In comparison to the old one, in Alpha that suit that looked very hacked together, that one actually looks kind of nice. LVM and VNLS. Yeah, I need to join more ACC communities because I actually joined the Discord for RCI and stuff and sign up on their website. I thought of doing the 4-hour race they have at the end of this month, but then realized that they start that race at 1400 my time, which just a stupid 4 hours. Like if it was a 2-hour race I could probably do it, but a 4-hour race is I can't do it alone, at least. And also I'm considering now to do on that day a 24-hour race perhaps. Have to see, maybe I will do that in Alpha 2. It would be the third 24-hour race this month, except that we've done about 5 hours each in 2 of them before they get abandoned. Because RF2 is so broken right now that 2 24-hour races this month have been abandoned about 3 or 4 hours into them.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
So yeah, go figure. Yeah, I like endurance races. It would be driving an LMP3 car, but I have to honestly see if we do that, because it's so far that car isn't entered yet technically, and we have one other guy. So it'll be 24 hours of Daytona with one other guy in an LMP3. This is fine. And he doesn't speak particularly English well. There's literally a meme in the Iris Discord of like having another guy come in as translator for him. There's literally a role for Ben's translator.
Alright, check it. Fine. Good job. You did the best you could. Now bring the car back.
A GT in the last virtual Le Mans. So you drove in that ACO event? That's interesting to know. I didn't drive another one. I drove in some RF2 sanctioned events actually. The RF24 back in I think 2019 I think? Yeah, 2019 actually was late 2019 that event. I drove in that one with Max Verstappen in it. On the practice though, I was once like driving into the Porsche curves with my GTE, and then suddenly I see like a yellow box which must have been an LMP2 just come up and just go around the outside. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing in terms of just, this is not gonna work, and the car just sticks somehow. It flies by, and then I see the name tag Max Verstappen. I'm like, okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. 27 from the end here finishing. But there's 3 cup cars in front of me. Which is a bit of a pain maker moment. Well, that's impressive. When you started sim racing only 1.5 years ago, I've been doing this nearly for 5 years and I suck. Right. Okay, we have a second race. Well, at least as far as the menu can be consulted. Also, funnily enough, it is run at the same fucking time. Because reasons. Like, literally, we're doing time travel. Free practice starts at 4 PM. Okay. It's half an hour long. Qualifying. Oh, by the way, Sunday 4 p.m. Then Sunday 4 p.m. again is qualifying. Sunday 5 p.m. is race 1, and then Sunday 5 p.m. is race 2. Yeah, why? That's... I know it works in ACC, you can time travel and everything, but it's actually in the instruction for dedicated servers not recommended. Because it can do odd things with the weather in track. So the problem is this chats now. Snapping back down is a bit annoying. Yeah, I'm for ACC. I'm definitely looking for an endurance team because I mean RF2 I have one. Team Iris is a very good place for that, but in ACC we don't have the drivers really. It's actually going to be the first time Team Iris really is running an endurance race with 2 drivers. In ACC is upcoming Friday in the SRXP race. Here with Lichten sharing the car with me. The one and only Loik. Actually, how much fuel did I have at the end of the race? The thing is how you set it up, I think... Oh yeah, right, you set actually the day value. Although this is all set through the interface on SGP in this case. So it's not manually set like I know it. Because I've done this also manually. I've once like... I played around with like servers and stuff in ACC and I noticed you could just like... in terms of where was it? If you ran about with 12 liters, I would line about ish. How much do I want to take then? Out of the car, I think I take about like 5 liters out of the car. Something like that. It's gonna be fine. Right, but but yeah, you set it up with. I think in this case the setup with the days is intentional from them. It's not like it causes massive issues. It's just it can look weird. Because I think what ACC does at that point is if you time travel backwards, it probably just recalculates the entire simulation of the weather. So you get technically a completely new weekend, I think. So if you have a high randomness, you might get completely different weather suddenly. Completely different track conditions. Due to that. But that's beyond my pay grade a bit to understand. But yeah, oh yeah, I've server show up in the list. That was easy on those things. Yeah, what I wanted to say about setting up server, I did once like I was like, how many sessions can I add actually? Oh wow, I oversped by like 20 kilometers an hour right there. Wouldn't be surprised if I get a drive-through for that. Nope! Because I oversped in the beginning of that sequence. You can totally overspeed like 20k if you do it at the beginning. Got a right love tap there, but that should be fine. Please, I'm there.
Clear on the left.
But yeah, I tried out how many sessions can you add. And I could add sessions. Till the chat box was gone. And I could still add more sessions to it. the entire like server browser broke way before that in terms of like listing the sessions up. Like it just filled the entire. It went way over the column. It just went both sides. It filled up the entire like row on the screen. It didn't break the entire server, so you could still use it if somebody does it. But it's just look, you could see a server that does that completely on the server list easily. But yeah, you need to obviously open up the correct ports and forward them, stuff like that. I used a I run at home with a small NAS that I have with like Proxmox running on there, with TrueNAS virtualized inside of it, and then running different things like, for example, a Kubernetes cluster.
Clear on the left.
Oh god!
Clear on the right.
I just had to right now cut because this guy's just accelerated when I wasn't there. So yeah, I have Kubernetes cluster, and then I put a ACC. For AC, there's a server managing tool, and then there's some basic server managing tool for ACC as well. It's a bit clunkier. It's kind of neat. And I use that to run ACC effectively. In part, it's actually not. In part, it's actually not that much clunky in comparison, because it can. You know, it actually works in comparison to the AC tool, which it says it can download. Use the Steam CMD built in to download the server itself, but it doesn't actually work. It breaks, and troubleshooting that error code is a fun experience. In general, the experience of setting up that Kubernetes cluster was something, because I decided to do it on Alpine, and that's like, you run into errors that nobody else has seen before, literally. And you have to figure the fuck out how to solve them. And you need to look like all the results from the first to the third page of Google. And then there's like 5 things that hidden in there that are helpful, and you have to combine those 5 solutions to get your solution out of it. I do not want to particularly admit how many hours I've spent actually setting some of this stuff up. It's mildly insane. But yeah, to come back actually a bit to racing. We've had so far a decent start. A really good start in all honesty, because we've gone really well up the order. Been able to avoid the drama so far. Got a slight love tap at the beginning, but otherwise everything's fine. We're mixing with the other GT3 cars. Although actually the Cup cars are following us. We only have that Ferrari between us and the Cup cars actually. No, we're not top 10, we're top 20. Realistic expectations. Yeah, but I think there's... Well, I think we can gain a few more positions here. Also, there's a decent chance of people faster guys coming up the order again. Ignoring both of these, I think in terms of people dying in front of us, I don't see more than like 5 of them die at this point. Yes, it's quite tight battle pack in front, but we're also, the further we get actually up the order, the more competent drivers are. So the less accidents you see happening. Well, we're on the back of the field at the beginning of this event, so really working your way slowly up the field. Yeah, but we were on the beginning and the back of the field because our car is slow. Ooh, ouch! Oh, that wasn't healthy. But yeah, because of our... Ooh, fuck me! I can't change direction that easily. I said only like 5 guys died and 2 proceed to immediately die. It's like, well... Okay. Oh, there's another one dead. Jesus. Started P10, got the crab slid, and was P3 after first goal. It's like, yeah, been there. I think actually even with Monza, but I think not in ACC. Although actually, I think I've done that in ACC in terms of in GT4 class. Ferrari, however, behind us is maybe starting to put things together finally and might actually pass us in the not so distant future. I say that and he drops massively back. Oh well. I mean, this car is probably painful actually to overtake because I have some straight line speed, although if you're close, it shouldn't be too difficult to be actually close enough to deliver a blow on me, because I would imagine you should be able to actually out-exit this car. Although I am so far carrying more speed oftentimes than a lot of my competitors for corners. At least those competitors that are behind me. Those in front of me seem to be just fine. And yeah, he struggles to get the important exits down, which is costing him so much time that he isn't really able to keep up. He has the brakes apparently to close up on me. But that's about it. Also, I approve of whoever is running that pink Porsche here in the front. Although this time around he seems to be a bit closer.
Well done, mate. That's not fastest lap.
Are bad in comparison to other cars. A lot of people say so, but I managed to outbrake nearly everything. I've not driven the 720S that much. I've driven it twice actually. In competition. One time around Suzuka, one time in a 6-hour race around this track. Although the 6-hour race on this track was with brake pads type 1. That was its own meme. I didn't check, didn't tell the guy to check the setup fully, so we realized only about 4 hours into the race that something isn't quite right, because my brake, my rear right brake was I took the car over for the what was it, the 5th stint? Yeah, it was the 5th stint actually. Took the car over for the 5th stint, and the car a few laps in started showing the indicator of one brake disc / pad. So I was like, wait a second, something isn't quite right here. And in the end, like, it was still working. Like, I've driven cars that had worse brakes than those worn Type 1 pads. I might have even finished on them, but I decided for my teammate to replace them. He wasn't like that quick, so we didn't need to gamble on that. We weren't going for the win anyway. Man, this is so weird, like that. For 488 cannot run the line behind me through that corner. He has more understeer than me. Which is insane. That 488 just cannot fucking turn, and I have to lift obviously for that corner, but he cannot follow me with the same speed. Okay, that guy's coming into the pits. I guess he didn't take enough fuel or something. Because we do not have managed a pit stop, but we're up to P15. Yes. In a Reiter engineering. Because of course we are. But yeah, the 720S, I think that the brakes are well balanced on that car. It's like that pretty good stopping power. I wouldn't say it was bad. One of the issues I have with a lot of cars is actually their damn on the brakes pushing over the front axle. So it's an issue that I have with a lot of cars. Now, that's why I often run like stupid amount of rear bias on some cars. This is especially a problem with something like the KTM Crossbow. That has it really badly. And quite a few GT4s as well. Not the Maserati actually. And the Maserati has well balanced brakes on the default brake bias. You don't constantly end up pushing over the front axle. That's why the M4 is actually really good, because it's actually fucking gets stopped and turned into the corners. The Porsche I've had issues with, and the Aston I've had issues with, but the boat I've not had issues with, and the 720S not either. I like driving the boat because I can actually stop it. The brakes are pretty good on that car as well. But people say the Porsche has good brakes, and I completely and utterly disagree with it. The thing does not stop for corners at times. Now, running the correct ABS setting on that car helps, because I think prior to 1.18, you could, if you ran the default 4 ABS, you would get tire locking on the front tires. If you increased it to 5, the thing would not really lock the tires anymore, but you would some laps just completely miss the corner. Some laps it just wouldn't stop the car anymore.
Clear on the left. There's some light damage on the left. Yellow flag in sector 3.
Did he spin from that? Did he actually spin from that contact? I'm so sorry if that happened, but like I didn't think he actually... I'm confused, because that shouldn't have spun him. Okay, you run very forward by it, which is really interesting. But yeah, I think the 720S has, I think, pretty decent brakes and overall, and it is pretty nice on the turn. It has good front end grip in the turn, and which is the main thing. If you can turn in faster into a corner, then you don't need to brake as much. Therefore, you effectively get better brakes. And also, if your car is slow in a straight line, you also don't need to brake as much. All of these things add together. Although the 720S is definitely not a slow car in a straight line, and the boat is not really either. From my experience at least, that thing is also not really actually that slow. But yeah, I've really driven it against quite a few cars. It's also always dependent on who you drive against. Yeah, Lexus is stupid quick in a straight line. That's true. Like, if you go to tracks that are really straight line dependent, then the boat will struggle, but the Lexus is obviously the straight line beast. But I think that one doesn't have that good of brakes in general. I think the MUQU doesn't have that great. And the oh god, don't get me started. I really dislike the one time I drove the Aston at Monza. The new one. The old one I actually kinda like. The old V12 I kinda like. That one handles pretty decently. I think that one has acceptable braking performance. But it's also like old and slow. But I mean, what am I saying? I'm driving here a Gallardo. Like, there's no real argument for old and slow. You're driving like literally the slowest and oldest car on the grid. Is available in ACC. Okay. You can swing up the inside. Oh, he just got a cut track. He has a drive through. Oh man, I'm so sorry if I spun you out with that contact. Yeah, he has a drive through from cutting the coils. I don't even have a cut track so far. Didn't get one in either race. I got invalidated laps like Pokemon on in the first run. But in this one, I've not even collected those that much. Can't really keep up with Cox in front in his boat. MUQU is amazing. I drove it in a like 90-minute driver swap championship once, and I was not too impressed with the MUQU. I don't have that much fun with it. Although, I mean, in comparison to my boat that wants to, whenever you put the loud pedal down, brake traction over the axle, the MUQU definitely doesn't have that problem that much. But then if you brake traction, the thing just goes around, so... Well, the boat is like... Yeehaw! Power slide. Right, but at some point this guy technically has to come into the pits. Technically speaking. To surface drive through. Or maybe he hasn't noticed it. Or maybe he tries to just run as fast as possible to get a bit of a gap, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I was about to say that guy was a goner, but like he wasn't quite.
Car on the left. 3 wide. All clear. Clear on the left.
No need to overcook this time around. He's clearly faster than me. Motherfucker!
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
That was naughty. Like, I'm not... Oh, God. That was close. But there's just no need to squeeze down on me this hard. Like, you're not getting me to back out of anything. Even if I'm like, yo, I'm not interested in fighting you that much because you're anyway, like, probably like 1 or 2 seconds faster than me. Yeah, drive third spa is like taking an extra lap, that's true. That's so true. Spa drive-throughs are like the worst. Which is why last race I didn't repair the car. Because having to do 51 seconds of repairs with pit stop is just, also 21 seconds of repairs. It's just no. It's like that's race ending already enough, but like coming in and Spa to fix shit is like, well, you were screwed, to say the least. So we have the Ferrari back behind us. He's been following us all race so far. I don't know actually what engine this car has. Does it have a V10 or V12? I think it has a V10, this car. I think the Ferrari might have some damage because he's losing so much time in the first sector. Here. So he might not take risks up the hill. I mean, he's understeering a lot in some places, like Campus. Heading up to Blanchimont on that corner, he's been always struggling with. But that's the thing with, like, I've not actually driven the Ferrari ever in a race, but I've practiced with it like once or twice, and I do not know why people like to drive this car. It drives like absolute dog shit. At least in ACC, it drives like a dump truck. It doesn't turn ever, and even when I tried Brands Hatch with a setup with it, the car wasn't going particularly slow and it was actually somewhat making the corners, but it felt so goddamn shit to drive. But I guess when you're struggling to just get a car around a circuit period, and you have a car that always understeers whatever you do, practically, then a Ferrari is not the worst choice you can make. Although I would like a car that actually somewhat, well, you know, does things and you can just save it. Like a boat, for example. A car that when you step too hard on it, it steps out, but it lets you get back in. Right, I overshot that corner slightly. Feels like driving in Need for Speed. You mean the Ferrari? Or you mean me driving this Gallardo, because I think I Need for Speed shift this car, so like a Gallardo race version is like in that game. Obviously not precisely this car, this is a Reiter Engineering REX or Rex. It is built for modern GT3 technically. And the Ferrari feels like Need for Speed. I guess that. I mean, I've driven the GTE variant in R-Factor 2 a few times. Also test driven the GT3 variant, but GTE variant I actually drove in a few races. For another race back in 2020, I drove that in the starting stints, and I drove it at the end of Visk Season 1. That was... I drove it Atlanta, which was a bit funny because I was not supposed to drive that event at all for none of the cars, because I was gonna drive in ES in a 24-hour race at Daytona, but we got taken out of the race completely within the first, I think, 15 minutes. Our car got totaled. So I was like, Jeff, you need a drive or something? Because I'm out of a car. Our cars did. It was like, yep. You wanna drive GT3? GTE? I was like, sure. I'd already Lenza. Track that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I respect. Finally sub 22, but the Ferrari is definitely putting up the pressure now. Can't be slogging around completely anymore. Okay, but you read something else. That's the problem with the 728. It's so aggressive and unforgiving. Honestly, when I drove it at Suzuka, the car is not that unforgiving. Like, you can totally slide the car and everything. Go sideways with it. But I guess my standard for forgiving is just so goddamn wrong. Because I drive things like, oh hey, I'm gonna feel the Maserati for 4 hours alone. Because I'm mental. And I would say that car is not particularly that hard to drive, barring the brakes locking up. Like, that's the difficult part. And because of how heavy the car is, you have to drive it. And because of the bad brakes, you have to drive that car really slowly and methodically. It really sucks at, for example, at something like a Monza, but it's... The Maserati is the absolute weapon of choice for Barcelona. I think it's... It is just OP. It's downright OP at Barcelona, the Maserati in GT4. But yeah, that's the thing with me, I think, where it's just my standards for what is forgiving and what is difficult to drive has at this point just warped. Because I can save a Porsche that goes sideways. The old Cup car is not that difficult for me to drive. It's not like it's massively forgiving. If you overdrive the thing into a corner, it will die on you immediately. But as soon as you feed it some throttle, as long as you don't just stamp on the throttle, the thing will just plant the rear axle and you can't spin the car anymore. Oh, I think the issue is actually the curbing with that car, perhaps. With the 720S. It doesn't like curbs. I think that's sort of like the issue with the 720S. Curbs are its downfall, really. And in Monza, for example, at some corners you just have to cut the corners hard. So when you can't do that, it just goes massively wrong. That's the thing with ACC at times, like, especially in high-speed corner, for example, like, you're a millimeter wrong and the thing just dies on you. And it's right off. But yeah, that was really nice. I guess I've said a few times now, the Rex is a really nice car to drive. It's just not particularly competitive. It just isn't. But that's also part of the fun. Seeing who you can beat with it. Right, the fastest Porsche Cup is actually Falkenberg in P20. I'm a bit disappointed with... I guess the Cup's always got into like trouble with the GT3 cars, the slower ones. I don't know. Because they just couldn't like keep up with me really. Because pace-wise they should be able to really. Like they... From their qualifying times and everything, they were really not far from me pace-wise. But in the race, like, a lot of... They swapped positions through constantly and lost a lot of positions. I think a lot of the drivers, like, just crashed their cars. I'm basically declared dead if you 2 to 3 kilometers per hour. It's too slow, yeah. Yeah, that's also true. It always depends on what field you're driving against. If you're in a packed grid of aliens, this is... Yeah, they're gonna eat you for like every kilometer per hour that you're off the pace. It's just completely mental. When I drove a few weeks back, the 6-hour race at Nürburgring for Ukraine support charity with PLR. That race, a boat was actually fighting for the race win, and about 1.5 hours into the race, I got lapped. I think perhaps even a bit earlier. It's like, and I was also running a boat, so that was like, yeah. The backup. David Cox was like, you are my driver of the day for me. How do you hustle a bag of bolts around here? He only finished in front of me. It's like, it's not actually that. You're driving only with aliens, and there was someone with a 46.6 in the race at once. I was like, fuck me. Some of these people, man. I was like, sometimes it's just like, where the hell am I going completely wrong? It's scary. Very scary. So right, okay. I mean, as long as there's someone left on the grid that is slow, it's all good. As long as there's someone left on the grid at that point that is slower. Yeah, I mean, the thing is with this car specifically here, you do really have not particularly many options. You have this design here. You have this design here, and then you have this design that I used. Obviously, I've set one of the colors to metallic, and I used white as the base color, which I kind of like to do with more brighter, just base color on a car. Alright, no, we don't want to save. But let's, so where's the Porsche? Next gen Porsche, and not safe for racing. Game, please don't die. Was the game trying to save me? Yeah, this is the car. Yeah, that's still good when you're able to still finish in the top 10. Yeah, that car, that's something. I'm thinking about it, maybe driving the Porsche again at some point. I have a race this weekend. Actually, oh, that's by the way the Irish livery. I have that selected, yeah. Team Irish livery. It's a bit more. I do actually. I still have the old Discord server from back in the day when I ran a team, but like, today I do not have really a personal Discord anymore. I still use that server still for dumping images in the channel that doesn't exist apparently. The Saphire channel does not exist. This is fake news. Such a gloriously good meme. Yep. Let me just like Lexus at this point. Right. Okay. I'm gonna close ACC down. But yeah, I mean, I left a link to the SRXP Discord in the description. The SRXP community. So, right. Oh yeah. That's you. Oh, they're always. There's some quality moves I have on the top of my head, but it's me finding the memes is going to be a bit of a struggle. I still need to finish that. What I mentioned with like servers and stuff, like I try to put like all of my memes and stuff into like a personal image. I mean, I use Susuboro. It's like my image for processing my image and displaying them, all of them, and just dumping my memes in there, and then using a like AI thing algorithm to read the contents of the to read the text of the image, so it's easier to find images based on the text that is on the image when you're able to search for that. But I've run into like I need to build the search engine for it so I can actually search the stuff, and B, one of the problems I've run with that into is like the algorithm that I was using. That's the most commonly used one is what is it? Tesseract. Like Google purchase and stuff. It's like Google is funding as well, just like something. But like Tesseract, using that, and sometimes it is scary how accurate is where it like gets in some places, like literally even the punctuation correct, and then you have cases where it just doesn't get anything, or it gets like something completely different. It gets like some completely garbled mess, and it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? And it has a real issue. One of the things I noticed is like I probably have to like, for getting this then completely finished and done, I need to then probably train it on like feeding it a bunch of dojins, and then letting that process learn how to read text like that, because a hand-drawn, handwritten text on dojins it can't read at all. Printed letters, it can like subtitles, it can do at times really well, even at some time. This is the weird thing. Some images that have like a stupidly low resolution and the colors shouldn't help it at all, it somehow gets. But then images that have good resolution and clear contrast for the subtitles, it just dies and doesn't do anything. It is the weirdest shit ever, but it works in the end. But yeah, I mean, on the internet people talk English. Thing with like Germans of like when you meet a Volksgenosse on an Auflinie-Spiel. It's like but yeah, it's very common for like Germans to wait a second, we both speak German after having a lengthy conversation in English. It's a very common thing, right? So, right. Me having made this very impromptu race here, next race will be, I think, if I know correctly right now, that will be the PLR Solo Endurance on Sunday at about 8:30 PM European time. Yeah, I haven't decided what car to drive there, but I think at Seoul for 2.5 hours I won't drive the Rex again. Okay, I was waiting to like confirm if that was you actually, who sent me a friend request on Discord. Yeah, I've seen that. Right. But yeah, I haven't decided what car to drive. Maybe I will drive more try the 720S for 2.5 hour race, I guess. Or I'm going for the boat. Or I want to drive Porsche. But all of these options have actually been picked by other people. Or do I want to field an M6 actually? The good old M6. I think that's still a good car at this point. The choices. It's so hard to make choices. What is your current endurance livery? That would be an interesting one. I mean, it's been a while ago since I like made for like RF2 a lot of liveries. The last few liveries that I've made for like RF2 were actually for personal, for actually liveries for my team back in the day. And I made did I actually leave oh, you probably found me that way. I was thinking like how you track down Let me just move this over here. Move this back over here, and then yep. So just briefly. Hey, stop doing that. Stop it. Yeah, that looks pretty neat. A toothless livery. Not something particularly obscene. Luckily. In comparison to like Porsche livery I showed. I've actually used the RF2 version of that back in the day. I actually used that in league races. I've not used the ACC version because I would have to submit it to people and they would look at this and be like, yo, what the fuck? They would obviously realize like, yo, you had some drugs or something. Coming up with that. I want my profile Steam, please. Thank you. Screenshots. What do I have? I have a lot of Elite Dangerous screenshots, apparently. Here is a livery I made some time ago. Let me just grab, I think the Steam is easier. Down. Oh, thanks for updating now. I don't have really like good side feet. It's Arco 7 livery. I think this is probably one of the better shots of it. Yeah, this one. It's kind of neat, this livery. I used it with different color variations over the years. Yeah, that's a while ago at Mosports. This image was here some time ago at Mosports. That guy had a bad exit, and then passed the GT on the right, but GT sat in the middle of the road. And there wasn't quite a car width there, so I drove into the grass and completed the pass of both of them. And it did. Well, it's my screenshot. Why the fuck this is broken is interesting, to say the least. Hello, would you kindly go back? Steam, you're more broken than RF2 nearly. You kindly scroll. Hello, you can load the data. I'm pretty sure you can. Okay. Like, look at this shit. It's breaking completely my Steam. Oh, come on, Steam. Yes, Elite Dangerous. Yeah, these old livery. This is what the other livery was based off, this one here. It's probably pretty small on the stream. No, I don't wanna, I wanna stretch my Steam client. Please, let me. Yeah, doesn't wanna let me. Ah, this is the old IndyCar livery I used. Ah, that's the old IndyCar livery I had. Maybe I need to port that to the new RFT IndyCar, because I bought that recently, so might as well actually port that to that one. Steam being completely and utterly borked right now. Well, we can think we give on Steam. Steam, you're not working. You're not willing to work. Oh well, I need to be careful what I show here. Man, the Irish livers get more and more elaborate as time goes on. I mean, at some point you're asking yourself, how many LMP2 liveries do I actually need? And the answer is yes. Orca 07 liveries like there's no tomorrow. Oh, I think... this is the LMP3 livery. Oh, that looks nice. That looks really nice, in all honesty. Oh, that looks nice. I kind of need to actually do that 24-hour race in 2 weeks nearly time. Just to drive that livery. I need to try that car. Do I want to do that briefly on stream, or do I think I just close it out at this point? Not quite sure. The memes Shall always be memes. Yeah. And yeah, this is a remnants of my old disc, my old team Discord. This is what remains. I need to be careful. I can't open the wholesome stuff because I actually have unwholesome stuff in there. That definitely will get me in trouble if I open that one up. There's some 6 digits in there. Alright. Okay. Well then. Let's... Oh. Why did I add that link there? Huh. I did not do that. Oh, that's weird. I don't know how the fuck I actually did that, but I apparently did that. So, well, let's close this down, grab this window back down. So, right. Well then, can I get cursors again? Yeah. I will be, I think, running this week, at Solar Enduro, and then next week will be qualifying for the 4 hours of Spa. Driving a 720S. I have a setup for it. I have to make delivery still. I want to do an iris delivery for that one, and then I will be looking if I can run the P1 Gaming 24 hours of Daytona in R Factor 2, I think. I think I will do that. I think I will give it another try. See if we see another race abandoned about 5 hours into it. It would keep up my streak. It would be particularly hilarious, because this would mean I haven't finished an RF2 race in about... Gosh, how many months? I forgot. A lot of months. It's for sure a lot of months at this point, unfortunately. But yeah. It's been nice. It was a very nice race. I very much enjoy having decided to turn up here. Decided about a few minutes before it actually started, just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and fuck it, I'm gonna do it with the Gallardo. Because I'm here for fun. My goals are sometimes beyond comprehension. Right, okay. See you around. Bye bye.